As per usual, we have a full show for you. This morning we plan to kick things off as we chat with the man himself. He's been making the headlines within recent times, Mr. Keith Diaz, president of Pan Trinbago. He's here to talk to us about that memorandum of understanding that we're all talking about. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Bueno.
It's a pleasure to have you on this morning. We're happy to have you so that you can discuss all these issues that are circulating on the media, social media, and all over. So the first question is this. So we understand, just to give it some background, the Memorandum of Understanding with Pan Trinbago, it's an agreement.
Yes.
It was signed between yourself and the NCC.
Yeah.
However, there are some members within Pan Trinbago who are saying they're not really aware of the details of this document.
Well, I would like to state that NCC is not in control of Pan Trinbago. Pan Trinbago is in control of Pan Trinbago. But some of these guys are a little less than honest. I would like to indicate to the nation and to all Pan people this morning that they were all invited by the NCC to a meeting. The 4 people went up to the NCC about 3 weeks ago and asked the chairman, Mr. Gypsy Peters, Winston Peters, and the CEO, Colin Lucas, for a meeting. They both tell them they don't have any meeting with the president. And the structure, Mr. Peters organized a meeting the same afternoon at the grandstand. And they both, all of them agreed to meet on the Tuesday, following Tuesday, 2 weeks ago. When they met, the CEO, Mr. Lucas, and the chairman had the same memorandum of agreement, and they went line by line, paragraph by paragraph, word for word, and they discussed among themselves. We had no disagreements at that time. Mr. Peters asked them, any disagreement, they'll look on it and they'll get back to us. They say, okay. They say, this is the way forward. The secretary is the one who talking there. Said, this is the way, we're glad for this. And the members who go on social media said the same thing. The next day, they were sent the written, just a few minor word changes and so on. There were 6 basic agreements. And it was sent the next day, and they all agreed the next day. So come now and after telling the people, when we sent a document to the NCC saying we agreed, and they saw the document, discussed the document, and say they agreed, come back and say something else to the nation. That's a little less than honest. That's the first thing. Mm-hmm. The second thing is that what was signed was an agreement. You have agreement, I have an agreement. The NCC, acting on behalf of the government, is making an agreement for accountability. That's one of the basic things that they're seeing there. And if you recognize among all kind of groups, institutions, the government is taking a serious note in accountability. I will just draw a reference to you. We had Champs of Steel Plus this year. Last year we didn't get any money. We had to approach the NCC with a budget. When they saw the budget, there was $250,000 the budget was. They gave us $200,000. After that was given to us, 2 weeks after, we had to submit every bit of item that we paid that $200,000 back to the NCC. That is what they want. So they don't have nothing signed of no agreement for that. It's an understanding. But now, because of some of these guys, because they speak on one side of their lips with one way, and then the next side they speak the next way. So you have problems there. So we make sure that they have it in black and white. That is one. So we have to account to the nation. The money NCC gave is the public funds. We as an organization have to be respectful to the public funds and have to answer. There were so many things happening throughout the nation. We were saying, what kind of things about Pan Trinbago? I said, this is the way forward. And part of the agreement people will see in the future, it will make better sense for all of us. The second thing, I heard some people saying about allocation. Since I could remember, and I started to play Pan in 1967 in Panorama. And I started to play Pan in 1964. And in my lifetime, government has been always assisting the steel band movement for Panama prizes, assistance to the bands, paying the judges, paying preliminary assistance from Tobago to Trinidad. All the expenditure is paid by government. Government say, listen, we not going that way we used to go before. New government, new changes. This is the agreement they want to put in place. What are you going to tell them no? we have an understanding between things. There are still areas that the Pan Trinbago have to work out to run the panorama. You will tell me Mr. Peters going to run panorama. He is the chairman of the NCC, at run the NCC. Whoever the president is in my capacity, I have to run panorama. That is what it's all about. So we have to prepare for panorama. We have to prepare the budget. We have to say it is going to the Minister of Finance. Minister of Finance then sees how much money will be allocated to the steel band movement and to all the interest groups, and from there we work. It's not a saying that we have to come and sit down now with the NCC and work out the details. This is what was signed. You know, people getting on like, if I go in the night, in the dark of night, midnight, and sign a document with the treasurer, nobody in the executive was aware of that, and that is a stranger to the truth. The treasurer was signed, and let me tell you, who have to sign the document is the chairman of the NCC and the witness, the president of Pan Trinbago and the witness. It didn't say secretary, it didn't say corporate sec, it didn't say that. The document didn't say that, and they were aware of that. These fellows who were saying and put on social media, they were aware of that. It's not to say like they come here in the night and say something. No, it's not like that, man.
So you said there were 6 items on the memorandum agreement.
You don't disclose all these things. I have a meeting on the 23rd of August because these same guys took the bands to court, the High Court, which you know about. They took the president to court. They took the chairman of the region to court. They took the chairman of the Tobago region to court, and they lost. When I tried to have the last time they had a general meeting, those guys was in November of 2017. And when I tried to bring meetings with the general membership, they carry me to the High Court, not once but twice. So what do? You know, people must understand what is happening. Everything you do is a challenge, is a lawyer, is a court. How much money Pan Trinbago spends in court? How much money that is done? This is serious things. This is what the membership is going to deal with. Right? They are going to deal with that. But you see, they have fears of that. So they're trying to make a whole storm about I signing and I signing. You have an arrangement. The government is making special interest in the people's funds. This president and the treasurer who has the responsibility is going to make that responsible decision, and they will discuss with these guys, and they never said no. If you want to check the chairman of the NCC, he will tell you what I'm saying. If you want to check the CEO of the NCC, he will tell you the same thing. Where in the world that you have an act of 1986 where state what Pan Trinbago under the law? How could NCC, who doesn't have any act for running the steel band movement, could come and run an organization which is a private organization that have an act? What we doing? So you know, it takes me aback to see what level of understanding some of these guys have.
How is Pan Trinbago able to function before an agreement like this?
All right, let me tell you how it operates. Pan Trinbago get 10% of the prize monies. The bulk, let's say, 85% of the monies that government allocates goes to the steel bands for preliminaries, appearances, semi-finals, finals, pay the judges, bring bands from Tobago. That is where the funds go directly, and assistance to players and so on. Pan Trinbago now, because of the thing, runs the 10% of the prize monies, and they get that to help run the organization. Outside of that, with a cabinet note, many years ago, for 5 years, the interest groups was run with the cabinet to collect the gate receipts. All right. Government is taking a different turn now. They're going to give you the gate receipts, yes. They're not telling you that. Right? We have a management fee to get for 20%. They're not telling you these things. Which Pan Trinbago is saying is plus the 10% of the prize monies. You cannot go and tell the government that they are giving you the fund. That is the state money. It's the state money. We have to be a responsible organization and not say like anything and do and bypass that. So why we not sign it? What's so wrong in signing that? Am I wrong to answer to the state and audit and put myself to the transparency within the organization? Am I wrong for that? Well, I am not wrong. I think in my sense it will be. It also states, the document is not for Panorama alone, you know.
I know.
The document states that it's for all other events that the steel ban movement will come to present to the government with a budget, and if they say they will fund it, they will say up to what amount of money they will fund it during the course of the year. Because what happened, we have chance to see that I draw to your attention. In 2017, we had no money for that. In 2018, we got 200,000 for it. We put on a show. We've had other artists from Calypso, Mass, and different things. So they saw the virtue of that show, so they funded it. We had to give them a report. This is why we have a like Pan Countryside, the music festival. These things will be funded through that. So the document is not a panorama document. What they were not telling you because they were discussed. Those were discussed with them. I have to report to the membership, and they have to know exactly some of these areas. Let me not tell you the next issue. If people used to write to NCC asking for funding for all sorts of things, we don't know. When it comes up for funding, we don't know. The NCC says, no. You have to make sure that the organization know that you are applying for funding from them. This is a new policy that is being put in place. So if you have Lavanti have a steel band thing, you have to inform the steel band movement. In the avenue, you have to inform the steel band movement. You have a big show outside there, and we say, okay, yes, it was a show that we know about and we support it. This really is a different thing now. So government have a proper accountability of the different funds that they are putting into the different things within the steel band movement. And we would have a knowledge. Sometimes people apply for funding from the NCC. We don't know. We don't know nothing. And that is not right. So that is what I want to explain to the membership this morning, to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Mr. Diaz, how would you describe the future of Pan Trinbago, and also, do you see yourself as part of the future of Pan Trinbago?
First of all, let me tell the general public, it's being bandied about by some of these fellas. I have served 3 terms, and I am not returning to office seeking re-election. I've said it more than a year ago. I told the Pan people, look for a leader among themselves who could take the Pan movement. I had some issues with my health. Last year in the 6th of January, I got a heart attack right in NCC office. And that was part of the issue where the acting person felt he was acting right through. So when I came out to work, he felt he was still the president. And that is, these are some of the areas. But in other things, that there's election carded for the 16th of September. Mm-hmm. And the 16th of September will have a new executive which will have to approach the NCC to dialogue with the NCC and to work out the necessary details of the steel ban movement. It's not to say that NCC come in and say, well, this is what it is, and sitting down at the office. That is not how it is. The second thing is that, these guys who talking have taken the membership to the high courts of the land. How did it look that the so-called secretary of the steel band movement is carrying his member bands to court? It does look good? It doesn't look good, and we won. So now, this is one of the issues that is on the pipeline that they have to answer to the general meeting. Since November of 2017, they haven't faced the membership. They have not come to a meeting with the membership. They're not talking like that. I have been to the meeting with them. I'm not afraid to go to any meeting that I call, any meeting with the membership. The right of the Constitution says that the president shall call all meetings within the organization, and any correspondence that goes out from the organization, the president shall see it. They are setting out things left, right, and center without the authority of the president. That's what they are doing. And then saying they are right. But the Constitution says one thing, and then a guy who holds up the Constitution, but I have the Constitution. And the Constitution says you must check with the president. It's there and shall. You know how powerful shall is? So when you look at what is happening, it's very, very serious. I see a great future for the steel band movement. They have a lot of potential, people with a lot of potential. Young people are getting involved with the steel band movement. All right, I served my time. I did a few things. It has some good and some bad. And, you don't make, I'm a human being. You have mistakes to be made. But at the same time, the organization will continue to get stronger. This will make it stronger. And what we have signed here, Mr. Salvador and myself signed, we'll see when the new executive going, you will see the virtue of it. The government is looking at all things. Look at how sports. Sports have to report with their finances, wherever government funds are. The other areas of the municipalities have to report to government special finance. Everybody that government giving funds have to report. Why we shouldn't report? Why, who are we not to report? This is not our remit. So we have to be very careful which way we go. The future of the Pan movement is right here. Look, you have people with different things. We haven't received assistance for the Pan men yet. We are still working with the chairman to see how best we can address it. Why? The guy took advances of the 2018 allocation when I was ill. They took the advances. They didn't take it and go with it, but they take it on behalf of the Pan people. And they're saying they're inside the proper letters of repayment. So this is where we're at. So today, we have to go and I have to go and negotiate with the NCC because certain things will happen. When they got these advances, within 2 weeks, they took the NCC to court. For what? So what you're going to do, you're just going to court and spending money on court. Do you know how much court matters cost? So, I feel that the future of the Pan movement would be in good hands. Because what will happen, that anybody who goes into office of the Pan movement will have a whole new directive. I think this MOA will charter a new course, both government and organization, because what government will do? Come and run everything? Government can't run everything. NCC can't run everything, so they will run TUCO, they will run TCCBA, NCBA, Pan Trinbago. What are we looking, what are we thinking we are? We are not that type of people. We have a prudent management that will happen for the future of the Pan movement. When you look at other organizations and other people within our society, you will see where the Pan movement come from, a real strong struggling force. And people today is looking at us all over the world. Every Monday morning, you could hear on social media something happen. They rather talk to the world than come to a meeting. You hear something happen, you send social media. They won't come to the membership and talk. So your business is being discussed on social media rather than coming to a general meeting to talk about it. That is a little less than honest.
Mr. Diaz, we'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and we'd like to wish you all the best, health-wise, I think.
Thank you very much.
Your health is your wealth.
And I want to state that, I want to tell the people of Trinidad that what we signed here is for accountability. And I signed for that, and I have no thing to say about that. I will sign tomorrow morning again for the same thing, because we, as an organization, the first thing that they criticize is steel band people, That's the first thing we like to criticize. But therefore, I sign on behalf of the steel band movement of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much. We've been chatting with the president of Pan Trinbago, who confirmed that he will not be in the race running for the leadership of Pan Trinbago, which takes place September 16. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
We take a short break, a lot more when we return. Stay tuned.